Hey guys, we're gonna do a really super easy variation on hip internal rotation. So the back leg of 90-90, there's a few ways to do this, but this one is super simple. You can actually do it sitting on your sofa or in a chair, or even just raised up on a couple blocks to get you this internal rotation. It's also forgiving to the hip or the front of the hip. So you can come to the edge of the front of the chair and actually work through that, okay? So you're gonna be seated on a chair, like here, and we're gonna take this leg, I'm just gonna rotate that a little bit. So I'm gonna do my left leg, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actively go to what my internal rotation is, right? So that's the end, I feel the end of my range there, right? As it wants to cramp. So what we're gonna then do is I want you to sit near the edge. Your other foot can be just where it's comfortable to give you stability. And then we inch ourselves into this passive range. And now you can come forward if that doesn't create any pinch in your hip, and or even if you just slightly laterally bend this way, you should feel with your hip locked here, a load through the tissue here. You can feel it on the underneath. So what we're looking for is around our hip, this kind of stretch. So the hip is being pinned this way, and we're trying to create a little bit of load either to the left and forward through and around that hip capsule or hip joint. So if you get lots of pinching, back off a little bit and rotate this way. So we just find what we can handle, but you want to feel it around that hip. Some of you might be more tight on the inside, some more through here, and you can just sit there for a couple minutes. After 2 minutes, which is our passive stretch range, where we're actually getting our tissue to start to let go, we're going to do 2 contractions. Once you've passively stretched, we want to teach our nervous system that this tissue can control this range. So we're going to then start to rotate our foot inwards. So my foot here is going to drive into the ground, and I'm going to stay exactly at this end range, this passive end range of where I am, and I'm going to try and rotate that foot in. I'm going to ramp that up. So I'm trying to drive from my hip. My hip is trying to rotate this way inwards. I'm going to ramp that up to my greatest effort. Hold that for 10 to 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to try and do the opposite, which is going to be, I'm actually thinking about lifting my leg off or externally rotating that foot outwards, which is actually internal rotation, yeah? We're going to hold that, hold that, hold that. So we're trying to actively work all this tissue to lift it off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to sink, and then you can find your new range, which you can kind of explore, feel, find. Keep searching for that hip stretch the capsule. And we're going to slowly come out of it. Try and do a set of 2 to 3 reps. We always end with doing some hip cars. So get up, do your hip circles. Check them out on an earlier video, hip cars, single leg, standing, sideline, whatever suits you, and actually upload that information to your brain. So try this to see if you can work on that hip range without it being too hard on the rest of your body. Cheers.